Well, as you can see by our furniture, we are, boy, this is awfully high. We're starting once again our emotionally incorrect week. We do this every year, Valentine's Week, talk about issues that have to do with the battle of the sexes. Your book, where are you, Laura? There's your book, The Surrendered Wife. When I read about this, I said, I have to get you on to talk about this, because not only is it a lot of controversy out there, the surrendered wife, you can imagine, but I have been on the rag all year about something I call making women nod, which is... I'm in trouble already, which is my theory that, you know, in the world we live in right now, if you're not saying something all the time that makes women nod, you're in big trouble. And you sort of say the same thing. You say, we have emasculated men, and therefore women are less happy of everybody, because you're not happy with guys who are not real men, and you say the answer is one word: surrender.
Surrender. This is making me nod, Bill.
So, all right, there's that. So what do you say to people who say to you, but you're undermining feminism?
Well, I'm very much a feminist, and I think people misunderstand the title. A surrendered wife is just someone who recognizes she can't change anyone but herself, so she doesn't tell her husband how to drive or what to eat for lunch or what to wear. She just concentrates on changing herself.
And gives up the nookie once a week whether she wants it or not. That's what it says, whether you want it or not.
I tell women that if their husband approaches them for sex, that's an opportunity, right? It's a chance to connect physically and emotionally.
Whether they want it or not. That's what it says in here. It's in a book. They wrote it down in a book.
I gotta read this book.
You gotta give it up whether you want it or not.
Not exactly how I say it, but no, I just tell them that they need to figure out what it is they want in order to get into the mood. So you might say, I want to take a bubble bath together, or I want a back rub first. But you don't want to just use sex as a bargaining chip in the relationship. This is what I tell them.
That's true.
So you're saying that she should never say no?
No, well, what I say is don't use it as a bargaining chip where you say, well, you didn't take out the trash today, so you aren't getting any.
Right.
So you want to make yourself available.
My wife says that all the time.
Okay, well,
so wait. So there is, what if I don't want sex? And what do I want to tell him? How does that work?
Well, if you never want it, then we've got a problem. Just as if you lose your appetite, right, you know that something's wrong, you're not feeling up to par. If you lose your sexual appetite, something's wrong, women.
If you don't want to have sex, you just go,
I would love to have sex with you, though.
So why do people applaud?
I don't know.
You know,
I totally agree, but I know to just shut the hell up.
Because I know my wife will make me happy. I mean, she will say yes at certain times, and then I appreciate the fact when she doesn't feel like it.
Well, and I think that's more than a lot of men are getting, though. I think that's part of the problem. Happily married men have a tough time with this book because they don't understand what could be the problem.
But how can you...
But, I mean, are you making it sound like marriage is a game? Is that what you're trying to make it sound like?
Oh, not at all. No, in fact, if anything, this
it's all a game.
all relationships, I
Christmas
think.
marriage is a game. No, this is actually a big part of... A big part of surrendered wife training is learning to say what you want and how you feel in a clear way. I mean, I think this is a big problem that women have. I've done it myself. I'll jump up to close the window and say, are you cold? I'm closing the window when I'm cold. So
right.
Yeah, but you know what? Self-esteem from the woman's point of view is going to fall.
How so?
Real hard eventually, sooner or later,
because
she's always acquiescing to her husband. It's not a 50-50 relationship here.
Well, I would defend that and say that there's something very Eastern about pretending to be the weak one, and by doing that, really being the strong one. This is something that they have used to great effect.
But it's still a game. It's a game, and I don't like the game part of it.
Are not all relationships on one level a game? I mean, do we ever really have total honesty with each other?
That's a very good point, though, because no, it really isn't complete honesty.
Oh, maybe we should be together. No. All right, I have to take a break. We'll be back. It's Lincoln's birthday, and to honor Lincoln today, the Clintons returned some of his furniture. That one book that suggests Lincoln was gay, and that he was shot in the theater for using his cell phone. All right, I forgot. Jack Jason is here with Marlee, as always, and you should be on the West Wing with her, because I think you'd be better than the guy who plays your guy in the West Wing. Okay. You were
He
talking...
signed for it.
Yeah.
Didn't get the part.
Oh, I got it. See, that's called real cool comedy. It's so above everybody else.
Hey.
Yeah. The only people
He signed for it.
Right.
He signed the contract.
It's so cool, only the Mormons get it.
Yeah.
That's how hip that is.
People in Salt Lake City are laughing their heads off.
Killing in Utah.
I've never done well there.
Hard to believe. Okay, we're talking about honesty as we broke away. I want to ask this because, you know, if you listen to other shows that are probably going to be on this week doing Valentine stuff, the shows that make women nod, the question will always come up, what makes a successful couple? And the answer will be honesty. Nodding. Cut to the nodding and clapping. But really, that itself is the biggest lie of all, isn't it? I mean, when you're in a relationship, especially marriage, it should be like the Army. Don't ask, don't tell. And if there is total honesty, you're only asking for trouble. I mean, it's like politics. You have to lie to get along.
I would
Once again, the man.
I would say that it's honesty about, as a married woman myself, with 2 kids, 99% of the time, and 1% not honesty. You know, particularly when you're a pregnant woman and the husband says, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, and then afterwards you find out it's all a big lie. Of course, what are you going to say?
See, now,
I mean, how do you deal with it?
I have to say, this is actually a big part of what I talk about, and that is being able to receive your husband's gifts. If he says you're beautiful, why are you going to argue with that? You just say yes and smile and say thank you and accept that, right?
Well, no, he was totally lying, though. He was completely lying.
But he was
And I mean, I gained
nice.
a lot of weight during this pregnancy, and I don't think I was that beautiful, but, you know, he moves his mouth like this, you know, like, you're beautiful, honey, yeah, like this. He's really forcing himself to say it. You know, I knew it was a lie.
Right.
And isn't it interesting, though, that as women, a lot of times we don't think twice about saying things to men. We'll say, God, that's an awful haircut, you know, like that. Like, it's okay to just be rude because...
Like we don't have any feelings.
You don't have any feelings, and, I mean, I'd be more polite to a stranger in the waiting room than I would to my husband sometimes, and I don't think that's right
I
either.
lie all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
My name's not even Chris.
And you have a beautiful, understanding wife. I mean,
Yeah.
can you
And I'm not
imagine married
deaf
to a
either.
shrew? What?
And Marlee says, and I'm not deaf.
And I'm not an Osmond, I'm a Jackson.
That's ridiculous. So really what you're saying is, like, if you tell your lies and make him happy, he'll tell you lies that make you happy.
Well,
and then everyone's happy. And isn't that the goal, to be happy?
I think it's a little bit harsh to say lies. I mean, we teach children to be polite, say please and thank you, and don't comment if somebody, you know, has
Come on.
a
Is it
problem.
truth or lies?
No, I think there's such a thing as manners that doesn't have to be about lying.
Well, that's a lie.
I agree. I
mean, you know.
No, I agree with her. I agree with her, and I totally agree
Thank
with
you,
that.
Marlee.
Yeah. Okay. But,
in the-
I mean, if somebody says, are you bored with me? And you say, well, of course not. I'm as turned on by you as the day we met. You can call it politeness, but it's lying. I mean, I'm not so... I'm saying that's okay, but I'm not going to lie about what's not a lie, because that would be a lie.
Bill, am I right in saying you're the only single man here? Is that correct? Is it the only single person? Or is that a lie?
No, that's the truth. Okay. But you know, I mean, inherent in your comment, the implication there from women is that you know, somehow that makes me unsuccessful, or somehow I'm a failure in life because I haven't. Maybe I don't want to get married because I don't want to lie.
Join us this week for Emotionally Incorrect, when Bill's guests will include Everybody Loves Raymond's Ray Romano, actor and comedian John Lovitz, comedian Carolyn Ray, and from King of Queens, Leah Remini.
Well, there's a new survey out that says getting an abortion in the United States is becoming harder than ever. For example, some states now require a waiting period, which I think is very ironic, because waiting for your period is how this whole mess started. Okay, welcome back to our special Valentine's Day. That's why I have a throne, in case you're tuning in late. It's not. I didn't have a big ego thing over the weekend. It's
pretty exciting to see you sitting on a throne.
Yeah.
Perfect for you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You mentioned pregnancy. I want to talk about, there's a governor who is, well, she's a lieutenant governor, but she's really going to become the governor because the governor of Massachusetts, Paul Cellucci, is about to be named the ambassador to Canada. Now, the lieutenant governor, Jane Swift, is preggers, and she, with twins, by the way. And she's going to become governor. And she, by the way, was pregnant the last time when she was running for lieutenant governor.
Ho!
No, she's married and everything.
Married hoe.
Yeah.
Who lies all the time?
Yeah. That's that Madonna hoe complex that men have. No matter what you do, if you're pregnant, you're a hoe.
She's read your book way too many times.
Home you hoe.
But she says that she can do this job, and I say, as I've said 100 times on this show, everybody can't do everything. And if you're pregnant, especially with twins, you can't be the governor of a state. It's a huge job. And I think it's the height of arrogance to think you could do both things, because when women are pregnant and right after they give birth, they're crazy.
Well, how would you know? You've never had it happen.
I'm not a chicken. I know what an egg is. I've seen...
Well, she's not going to be pregnant forever. And when she's delivered those babies... I mean, 9 months.
It's only
9 months.
9 months! We're talking about a state!
When she's delivered the babies, right? I mean, you wouldn't say about a guy, oh, he's got 2 newborns at home. Is he capable of doing this job? You'd only say that about a woman.
Because a guy doesn't go crazy from it. It didn't crawl out of his body.
A man doesn't get sleep deprived and cranky and make poor decisions because he's got new kids at home?
Maybe, but a man...
Oh, maybe.
Well, I think it's a little different than actually carrying a little squalling brats inside you.
True.
Squalling brat? Oh, yeah.
You just gained a lot of points there.
I've got to do something to wake somebody up here.
Whoa!
Okay, all right.
That's
Marie.
worse than hoe!
All right. When I had the talk show with Marie.
Yeah,
Don't brag.
Right.
When I had the talk show and Chris Rock wouldn't come on.
I don't know why, because your show did so well in his demographic. Anyway.
Why do you think we wanted him on?
Yeah.
Anyway, Marie was pregnant, and she went through it.
Yes.
On television, she suffered through the postpartum blues and the whole bit.
She went on a 9-state killing spree, I
That she did. But she survived it, because it was her choice. I went through. I feel sorry.
But should she be the governor of a state during that?
She was doing a daily talk show. I mean, that's a lot of
people, I rest my case.
Every woman is different. I didn't have postpartum. I threw up for 3 months, so what? I cleaned up and no one else had to worry about it. So what? Well, no, maybe my husband did, but so what? You can be pregnant, you can work, you can have a nanny for after the baby's born, pay them well, get them out of the way, and do your job.
I mean, I agree with Marlee.
It all gets down to
I
choice,
agree.
Bill. It gets down to choice. If she wants to do it, if she wants to be the governor with twins, first of all, it's a high-risk pregnancy, so more power to her. I don't agree with her decision,
Yeah.
but it's her prerogative
But
to
what do
do
you
it.
mean her? It's all about her. What about the people of the state of Massachusetts, of which she is proposing to lead as their governor? It's not about her. Everything always is about one person. No, it's about a lot of people. She's taking on a responsibility for this whole state.
So this show wouldn't survive if you left?
She's going to need a lot of help in order to
I
get this
can't
job
wait.
done. She's going to have to ask her husband for help. She's going to have to delegate things really well, and that's a sign of good leadership.
Right.
It does get down to one. It does get down to one person. This show is successful because of you. That state can be successful because of her, if she decides to do it. And she's made the decision.
And she has people to work with.
I got nothing to say.
Thanks for bailing us out there, Chris.
I mean, I worked when I was pregnant. I mean, and I thought I did a good enough job on what I did my job with.
I know, but with all due respect, I know show business is the most important thing in the world.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's really not. Running a state is not like a talk show. Those people who do those kind of...
But have you seen a state, has there been problems in the state with the fact that she's pregnant? Has there been a problem? Has there been any problems?
Well, she's not there yet, but I would assume if you're the governor of a state...
Yes.
But George Bush
Those
did
are
it.
the kind of jobs where people work 12, 13, 14-hour days. You have to sort of be on call 24/7. It's a high-level, high-duty...
It really is.
Well, what he's trying to say is when you have a talk show, it's all about you.
Right.
When you are the governor, it's about other people. So when you mess up on your talk show, oh, Donny Osmond, you know, big deal. But,
Well, thanks a lot, Chris.
That's what he's trying to say. I'm trying to
Rock, big deal.
If my show's bad, you know, okay.
Right.
Big deal. I can't buy any Pumas that day.
There's not a guy. There's not a guy on death row who's like looking for the governor to say, should we, you know, stay the execution or not? And she's in a bad mood.
That guy is saying... No, that guy is saying, thank God I'm in Massachusetts with a pregnant woman, not in Texas with the old governor that's now the president. So he's in better shape. Hello?
Okay. I got to take a break.
All
We'll
right.
be right back.
If you're planning to be in the Los Angeles area and would like free tickets to Politically Incorrect, call 323-575-4321.
All right, The Surrendered Wife. Read it to your husband while you're listening to Donny's record. You'll have a good night. Okay, tomorrow, John Lovitz, Melissa Joan Hart, Tanya Roberts, and Randy Thomason.